Sorry about that. The reason you're seeing a new picture, this is a new what if. What if Deku was skilled? I just had this thought, it just came to my mind randomly. And I just had to do it. I just had to. I couldn't stop thinking about it. So, I'm going to do it. So, this is, what if Deku was skilled? Now, let me tell you something about Deku before we get started. Deku has the skill to become one of the greatest, fighters. But, one thing is, Deku don't have a quirk. And, Deku's still going to be bullied. And Inko isn't there, because Inko died. It was an accident that caused Inko's death. And, Hisashi could come get Deku because something happening in America that's prohibiting him from leaving. Mitsuki couldn't take in Deku, so Deku had to go to an orphanage. So, let's get started. So, Izuku Midoriya, or just Izuku, because they don't know his last name, is being bullied in the orphanage by his orphanage, brothers and sisters, because he doesn't have a quirk. But he fights back when everyone tries to bully him. But he's watched a lot of videos of people fighting. He's never watched the video of All Might. He just heard of All Might. Never watched the video of people with actual heroes. Because he doesn't idolize heroes like he did in canon. But Izuku, every day for him is a fight for survival. So he has to learn to fight. And because of his build, he isn't really that strong. So he uses speed mostly until he starts to work out. So Deku basically starts to learn speed takedowns and speed attacks that he can do that can cause a lot of damage to the people he's fighting. Well, he's fighting, not fighting. I'm sorry that my speech becomes so tattered up. So, Deku basically was being bullied one time by this one kid. He was the biggest kid in the orphanage. Well, he was Deku's age, but he was bigger than Deku. So this kid started bullying Deku. Deku started thinking, because he still got that great ability to analyze people. So he started analyzing the kid, his quirk, just a random quirk, like he can grow his hair faster. And, Deku starts looking for a weakness and he sees it, in this left, leg. It's a little bit bruised because he tripped. So Deku capitalized on that weakness. Which what he does is he kicks his left leg, making the kid wince in pain. Then he, punches him in the face. He doesn't know the boxing trick yet, which you twist your hand. Then you can add extra power to your punches, or to move your whole body and attack with your full weight. You don't know about that yet. So the kid got back up. He touched his nose and sees he's bleeding. As he runs to the people in the orphanage, they put Deku in trouble for basically attacking another kid. What is that? Oh. So Deku says that he attacked him first, but they don't believe him. So they basically punish Deku, which Deku is starting to hate people. Hate being around people. Every day Deku get beat up, but he fight back and he win most of the time. But sometimes when he get jumped, he lose. So he started to wonder how to fight multiple people at the same time. He started to think about it. He's going to be more brutal because he don't care anymore. He's going to start using weapons, things to his advantage. This is going to start being more different from others. He's using their fears, their emotions, all that against them. As he fought, one more bully from a school. Deku basically was in the classroom. They were fighting. This kid was beating him. Deku then, saw the opportunity, so he took it. He rushed in. He dived to the left. But, the kid was going to look to the left, but Deku, pushes off to the right. He then, dips, down from the right. Then, cross over to the left. Then uppercuts the kid in the jaw. He then sweeps his legs, grabs a book off the table, and smashes his head into the floor with the book, knocking this kid out, giving him a little bit of a concussion. They took him to the nurse. The nurse said he'll be okay, but he just needs to lay down for a couple minutes. His brain got a little bit shooken up, which Deku was, in trouble for. They ain't even do nothing to the other kid. They just did something to Deku. And Deku noticed that day that the world is unfair, so he shouldn't care about it. Growing up, everyone was trying to bully Deku. So, he basically had to protect himself. He had to learn how to protect himself in a world full of people with quirks. Every day he get bullied, beat up, bleeding, be in the same school with Bakugo, have explosions, scars on his back. His whole body is full of bruises, cuts, all that. But Deku keeps fighting because it's the only thing he knows. To fight. To survive. Now, I ain't gonna say Ingo died. No, Ingo don't die. No. She just put to a coma for a short while, and she's flown out to America with Hisashi, where they had better technology to heal people. Inka was healed fully, but she couldn't come back to Japan because they think that she might have some side effects from her injuries, which basically she just got to. It was a villain attack that happened, and she got injured, but it wasn't that serious. But it was an organ that got damaged, but trying to make sure that no lasting damage happened to that organ, so that she can be fine and be able to go back to Japan. And she don't know what happened to Deku. Hisashi don't know. Mitsuki don't know. But she do know that Bakugo be coming home sometimes with injuries. So, one day she do come to the school and ask, the principal why her son keeps getting, beat up or, having these injuries. And, he says that, he keeps, getting into fights with, one of these kids. She asks who. His name is Izuku. He says, Izuku? Who is he? As, the principal brings Izuku in. Mitsuki sees this little kid with bruises on his body, bruises on, his face a little bit. And, his knuckles, they're red. Signifying that he just got out of the fight. Mitsuki says, no. So this the kid that keeps, fighting, Bakugo, Akatsuki. And the principal says, yeah. Little brat always get into fights. As Deku just, leaves, not even care about it. The principal says, come back here, you brat. But Deku keeps walking, he don't listen. Reaches to his phone, he pulls out, headphones, and he puts, music on. It's live music so where he can't hear the principal. That's when one of the kids tried to sneak Deku, but Deku saw, his feet approaching, so he looked up and he saw, his fist coming at him. Deku ducks it, ducks and then, slides to the left, with his left fist, he punched him, in the jaw. He then, with his right, fist, uppercuts the kid, grabs his head, knees him in the stomach. He's, then finna get ready to cross and go forwards. Deku kicks his leg out, grabs his head again, and knees him in the jaw, knocking the kid out. He then starts walking. Deku, gets angry and angry every day. He's tired of people always fighting him. Just because he's quirkless, just because he don't know his mother, just because he was in the orphanage, just because all these things he hates. But this isn't going to be a villain what if. It's going to be a vigilante what if. So over the years, Deku got more fights. He get more skilled, more experience in fighting people, and fighting more people with dangerous quirks, and people in more bigger groups. So he has a lot of experience, which this helps for Bakugo too, because he has more experience too, and but his quirk is better, but he still thinks he's on top of the world, but he loses to Deku a lot. So now they're 14, the teacher asks who wants to go to UA. Deku doesn't, raise his hand. He doesn't want to go to UA. He don't really care about it. He actually want to go to just a regular, high school. Don't even really care about becoming a hero. But he's going to become a vigilante. You're going to see how he, transitions to, take it down that road. So, Deku doesn't keep, the notes on heroes with him. No, he keeps it at his house that he basically bought. He bought himself an apartment. Because he, moved out the orphanage. He hated being there. He got himself a job. And with this job he got is basically he has to move, objects to another place from light to heavy. And sometimes he'll get help. But, doing this helps him develop muscles. So Deku just grabs his book pack. I don't know, care. Backsack. No, he just grabs his, backpack and leaves. He goes down the tunnel like a cannon. The sludge villain, is finna come out and get him, but Deku jumps backwards. Dodging just in time, just barely dodging the sludge villain. The sludge villain says, "I need your body, kid. I ain't know that freak was in town." Deku being smarter and, having more battle experience, he, thinks about it. As he throws a rock at the sludge villain, he sees it went right through, so his body's made of sludge and it's liquid, so it won't be able to damage him. So he tries other things. Throws one of his teeth, he sees his teeth is, basically solid. Then one of his eye, he sees his eye is solid, and that it hurt. So Deku capitalized on it. He throws some more rocks at the sludge villain's eyes, and then, he rushes off. He, basically runs off. Mr. All Might comes, seeing the sludge villain, holding his eyes, they burning. All Might, knocks out the sludge villain like a cannon. He takes the sludge villain away. Deku don't meet All Might because, basically, he wasn't there. Now, All Might, jumped off a little bit too much power, making the sludge villain fly out of his pocket. And Bakugo kicks the bottle like a cannon, releasing the sludge villain. Now, Deku was walking. Then he heard an explosion. Then, he started walking to the area that the explosion came from. Then he bust out into a sprint. He then was, in the back of the crowd looking onwards into what he sees. He sees the sludge villain again, but this time it has someone. Deku's hero instincts still kick in, but he isn't going to become a hero. But they kick in just because he still has them. So Deku rushes in, remembering from earlier that the sludge villain has no weaknesses. So he, picks up two rocks. He throws them at the sludge villain's eyes. blinding him. He then rushes in, grabs Bakugo, pulls him out, carries Bakugo back a little bit, jumping back, trying to avoid the sludge villain. This, Deku picks up another rock, and he throws it at the sludge villain, left eye, so it's hard for the sludge villain to see, only one eye open. Deku then, brings Bakugo back. Bakugo says he didn't need any help. This when All Might comes in, he, basically knocks out the sludge villain. Bakugo explains he need no help from a nerd like you don't even have a quirk, as Deku says. I ain't helped because I wanted to. I only helped you because my body moved on its own. As he puts on his backpack, his hood, puts his earphones in, he starts walking away. Later on, All Might, catches up with Deku, basically, and starts talking to him and says, did a good job, kid, taking, blinding the hero, the villain, and then, saving the hostage. Deku says, yeah, whatever, as he keeps walking. All Might said, thinks in his mind, does this kid not even care that I'm here? Or, All Might says, how about this? How about you come train with me? Deku says, no, I'm good. He says, what's your quirk, kid? As Deku says, I don't have one. All Might shocked. So you rushed into a battle without a quirk. As Deku says, yeah. All Might says, why did you do it? Deku says, he don't know. His body moved on its own. If my body hadn't moved, I would have loved to see that bastard die. As All Might saying, this kid is brutal, ruthless. So, Deku leaves, says bye to All Might. He says, I gotta go home. I'm getting tired. I need to sleep. Then I need to cook dinner. All Might says, do you not live with your parents? Deku says, no. Don't know my mom, and I don't know my dad. Goodbye. As Deku leaves, he goes back home. Does what he says. He, basically cooks and eat, and he sleeps. Now, for the next 10 months, Deku basically trains his body, like I said. And, one, day, he was, walking around at night, and, somebody basically was robbing somebody. So Deku rushed over and, stopped the robbing. And, Deku, from saving someone, he felt that joy. He felt that excitement as the person thanked him. Deku thinks this is a good feeling. Why do I love this feeling of, basically saving someone? So Deku, does it again. He finds someone else that's basically doing crimes. He stops them and beats them. He loves this feeling. This feeling that gets his blood boiling. That, gives him that rush. So he basically thinks about it. He's going to do that. So Deku finds a mask at his house. He sees that he don't have one, so he buys one from a store. He had his face covered with his hood, so he wouldn't get caught. He buys a mask. He buys a new jacket, some new shoes, new pants. So, he won't be profiled. So Deku buys, these clothings. He wears them. He also wears gloves, so he won't, leave fingerprints. And his hair is, covered by his mask and his hood, so, won't leave, hair follicles or anything. Won't leave a trace of anything behind. So Deku goes out, and, he finds, this little, small gang. Just 3 people right now that are harassing a woman. Deku, rushes in. He jumps up and he knees one in the face. Daughter said, what? Who is this little brat? They says, Deku ain't talking. As, he just rushes in. He punches another dude. He tackles him to the ground. He keep on punching him. As the other dude comes over, he kicks Deku in the ribs. Deku winces in pain, but he gets up as he rushes to this one dude. He then stops, drags his feet along the ground, and kicks dust into this dude's eye. He then rushes in, and start weaving. He started ducking in to the right, and then switching it over. He's switching his body weight to the left and doing it to the right, and then keeps doing that. He then prepares his fist, and he goes to the right, bam, to his head. To the left, same thing. Just switching his body weight alongside his punches, which is throwing the full weight of his punches, full weight of his body with his punches into this dude's head, which is basically shaking his brain up so much. And these full punches is destroying his face, messing him up. Now, if you guys don't know what this movie is from, then you need to watch this anime. It's from IPPO. Basically just watch that IPPO. Which, this kid, anime protagonist, he is a boxer. And he learned the move called a Dempsey roll. That's what Deku just did, the Dempsey roll. Which, you can see from the creator of it. His name is Jack Dempsey. I think that, they said something about Mike Tyson using it. But not the Dempsey roll, but something, copying Jack Dempsey's movements. The head moving. So, basically, Deku does that. This man, falls to the ground, unconscious, face bruised, bleeding, missing a couple of teeth. Deku then, dashes to the other person, kicks his knee, actually breaking it, making it go backwards. Flips around on his arm, breaking that arm, kicking the dude to the ground, and he started beating his back of his head. And then the man, passes out. Deku gets that rush again like he did before. So, Deku then, escapes from the woman, being scared a little bit. So he rushes, he runs. He sees a manhole cover. He, takes it off, but it's a little bit, hard for him. It is kind of heavy. But, he takes it off. He then, slides it back on. He goes to the sewers. And then, he, gets up from the sewers, goes home, makes sure no one sees him. And, later on in the news, they show, this video of this kid, well, basically this vigilante person. He had a mask on, jacket with a hood, some pants and shoes, well, combat boots, so they hurt. And they show him beat 3 people up, and one of them, nearly to death. The dude that he kept on punching the back of the head, he could have broke his skull in. And the other one, his rattled his brains. They asked the woman what happened, and she explained that she was being harassed by these 3, and this person basically came out of nowhere. He stopped them, he beat them. They wondering what is going on, and All Might saw this, the teachers, villains, heroes, Mitsuki, Bakugo, and Masaru. I think his name is Masaru. Yeah, his name is Masaru. So, Deku then, tends to his wounds, which he got, a couple of, he got, some broken ribs. He can feel that. But not broken. He got some bruised ribs, which really hurt. Some bruises. No cuts. And that's it. as he tends to them, and he basically just rests for a couple of while. And then he back out on the streets. He doing the same thing over and over again, beating people up. He finds pleasure in it. We're not beating people up. He finds pleasure in saving people. But beating people up is just the extra part. Until Deku is stopped, and he has to basically fight a hero. So this hero says, "Stop, or you will be stop and give up, as you are being arrested." As Deku basically don't listen, as he starts to run off. The hero says, "No, I have the new vigilante in sight, and I am pursuing him." As Deku starts running, basically running, and he's more agile than the hero, but he still is a teenager, so the hero is faster. But he's more agile because his body's more slimmer and he's more smaller, so he can maneuver better than the hero. So Deku gets to a fence, but what he does is he had a trash can outside of it. Deku jumps up on it and he jumps over the fence and he keeps running. Just doing basic parkour that people can do. He just keep running. He comes to a garage that's halfway open. He slides under it. And, the window that was open, he climbs. He jumps off the wall and jumps through the window. And he keeps running. The hero sees this after he goes under the garage door. Nothing's there. As Deku keeps running, he then climbs up a ladder. He climbs up a ladder, and he going up some stairs that's behind the buildings. The stairs that are behind buildings. He then goes in through a window that was open. Rushing through somebody's house. Jumps over that table. Rolls and keeps running, and then he opens that door, closes it. Runs through another. Runs through the hallway, slides under some people carrying what's it called? Carrying a couch, slides under them, and he keeps running. He gets the elevator. He puts to the top floor, to the roof, and he just keeps running on top of the roof until he gets to another ladder. He slides down. There's a manhole cover down there, so he takes it off and he gets down in there, and then he escapes. The hero then says, the next time that people ask him about vigilante, he says he is quite fast, but not that fast. He is fast, but I could keep up with him. This hero had basically he had he had a rock quirk. Yeah, this hero had a rock quirk. Cause I can keep up with him, but he jumped over a trash can, over a fence. He slid under a garage, and I don't know. He went after that. I think he went out the window, but from what other people said, he basically ran through somebody's house, slid under a couch that was being carried by two people to another room. He then went up to the top floor, and that's all that they saw, and then he disappeared. People saying, who is this mass vigilante that keeps beating up people, and he keeps evading heroes? And when will he stop? And can he be stopped? As someone turns off the TV, and then they start speaking. As you guys can see, he's very skilled. And, from what, heroes have said, he's very, fast. And we haven't, seen reports of him using a quirk, so I don't really know what to make of this. You? As he points to another man, and he says, I can, capture him if you want me to. I'll have to be, based in the city that he's in, but, I can do it. So, when do we start the operation? And it said, tonight. You will go to the city and, try to find this kid that seems to be a little kid, like, teenager from his, body build. He's much smaller. As this man says, okay. As everyone else in the room leaves. As this man goes to the city that goes in. Now, the daytime. Deku is walking around. Bruises on his face, but he doesn't have his hood on this time, which he's just showing his hair, his messy green hair. But she's wearing a hoodie, some pants and shoes. And he's just walking. He goes to a coffee shop. He orders some coffee, they say coming up, and they give it to him. He then leaves the coffee shop. He starts drinking the coffee. Then he goes to a beach. He starts sitting down and just watching the sunrise. Just drinking his coffee. After a while, the sun completely rises and his coffee is done, so he throws it away in the trash can and he starts walking around the city some more. During his time walking around the city, he then, gets to a music store, which he's looking through music. This when something strange happens, and, people hear a boom. They look outside of, the store, and there's villains basically with guns just shooting people, shooting all around the place. As then they look into the store, Deku is in. They don't see Deku, but they see this woman. So they start taking aim. Well, the villain starts taking aim, and he starts shooting to the store. Deku rushes in. He grabs this woman. He pulls her to the ground. They crawl to the back of the store. The villain comes to the store. And, Deku tells the woman to be quiet. As Deku sees the fire extinguisher, as he grabs it, he then, climbs up the wall. Well, basically, not climbs up it, but, he, sees a place where he can put his feet at. He stands there. The villain then, comes around the corner. Deku hits him on top of the head with the, fire extinguisher. He then jumps down, smashing the villain's hand. The villain's was finna go out the stream, but Deku grabs his mouth and hits him. Tells the woman to hit him again with the fire extinguisher. As she did, Deku then basically punched the man in the head, knocking him out. Deku then grabs the gun, saw how much ammo the villain had left. Sees that he only had like only had like 12 bullets. See if he had, any extra clips as he grabs those too. He only had 2 clips extra. Deku had gloves on, so no leaving of basically prints. He had a face mask on like we wear right now. Not like a full mask, he only has a face mask. As Deku tells the woman after, cocking the gun to see, well, not cocking it fully, but just see if he had a bullet in the chamber. He tells the woman to stay inside and don't come out. As he's, basically crouching and he's walking to the door to make sure that none of the villains see him. All the villains are basically walking down the mall, and basically he just opens the music shop door, and basically he start crouching, and he starts getting to a position where he can shoot, where the villains won't even notice where he at. So he sets up aim, and he shoots. First time shooting the gun, which is like a kickback, and he misses. But Deku adjusts and he keep on trying, and he actually hits the shot one time. hitting the villain in the leg, basically making him fall down a little bit. And because he got hit in the leg, his finger, was on the trigger, and he, shot up, shooting one of the villains that was, close by, killing him. The other villain said, "Dude, what the?" And "Are you a traitor?" He said, "Oh no, I'm not a traitor." "Yes, you are." Yes, they killed him too. Deku then empties, the clip. Well, takes the clip out. He puts another clip in. He cocks the gun. And he starts shooting and aiming. And hitting people actually. They, getting confused what's happening, so they start shooting among each other. Which was about 20 villains. They got cut down to at least 2. Deku says he can take care of these 2 as he throws down a gun. He rushes out. He's running on the top floor. Well, a floor above them. He then jumps off the guardrail towards one of the villains. Kick him in the head. The other villain then turns around. Deku grabs the villain's body, using his body to protect himself from the bullets. As the villain get filled with bullets, Deku then rushes out from behind the villain. The other villain tries to reload his gun in time, but Deku comes out, kicks him in the leg, spins around in the air and slams his head into the ground. Then gets the other, he gets his gun, loads the clip in it, and shoots him in the head, killing the man. Deku is just, panting heavily. And, then he runs off because he don't want to get caught. He then runs. He sees an air duct that he can get inside. He gets inside of it. He starts crawling through out of it. Then he finally gets out of the building at the back entrance, and he starts running off. Now, the police get there, heroes get there. They ask people what happened. They ask the store clerk, and she says that there was villains with guns outside, and she was basically in the store, and she was basically just watching this kid who was buying music. No, she never got a name of this kid, but she did get a little bit of a description. They say what he looked like. Says she never saw his face. She saw his eyes and his hair. That's it. They asked what his hair was like. She said it was green, and his eyes was green too. Okay, tell us what else happened then. She says that a villain actually saw her, and before the villain could actually kill her, the boy rushed over, he pushed me to the ground, and he, told me to follow him as we went to the back of the store. He then took one of the fire hydrants and, basically hid on top of, the door. When the villain came in, he hit him on top of the head with it, covered his mouth, and told me to hit the villain again, which I did with the fire extinguisher. He then punched the villain, in the face, knocked him out. He grabs the villain's gun, and he grabbed 2 extra clips that the villain had, and checked how much bullets he had inside the clips. He then proceeded to go outside, and all I heard was gunshots. And that's all I heard. I didn't see anything else. I had to say, okay. As they go to the security room, they run the footage back, and they see what Deku did. They see, this kid basically run up the stairs, hide in a spot. He started shooting at the villains. Well, he wasn't, hitting them at first. Then he hit one of the villains inside the knee, but he went to the ground, and he, basically started shooting in the air. Well, he started shooting, and he hit one of the other villains, killing him. The other villains just thought he was a traitor as they, took him out. Then, Deku then proceeded to keep on shooting at the other villains, and after a while they started turning on each other and started killing each other. Which then there was only 2 left as Deku jumped over the edge, hitting one in the back of the head. Then the other person, looked at him and started firing upon him. Deku used the other person as, basically a shield to catch all the bullets. As, the man then, got hit and, killed. Deku then, rushed out from inside the man's body, kicks the man in the leg. Then, spins around in the air, kicks him into the ground, uses his gun to shoot him and kill him. They then see Deku run off after panting for a little while and, go through the air ducts and escape. They think that this kid is very skilled, and, basically that was very scary. So they think that they need to catch this, kid no matter what. And the only guy was, only description they did get was green hair and green eyes. Not many people have these features. As it was later, put on news that, only things that we know about this vigilante right now is that, he has green hair and green eyes. Bako is thinking of this, says, that sounds like a nerd. He's the only person I know that has green hair and green eyes. As Bako told the police that, he told the hero that he saw. One person that he knows that has green hair and green eyes is, a kid named Izuku Midoriya. He lives on such and such street. Such and such street at such and such apartment, complex, in such and such house. Bako knows this because he followed Deku before. And the heroes tell the rest of the heroes that they know about this and the police. As they go to Deku's apartment, they ask if they can come in. Deku says no. They say we have a warrant to search this house. As says fine. Because he can't, basically do anything if they have a warrant. So all the, police come in. Deku, basically walks outside. They say, no, you have to stay here. As Deku shuts the door. As they say, open the door, go catch that kid. As they open the door to see Deku running. So, they, give chase. Well, 3 officers get chase. But the rest of the officers, search Deku's house. After a while of looking, they didn't find Deku's, vigilante gear. That says this is the kid. Now, with the other officers and Deku was running through the streets, sliding over cars, running through alleyways, trying to get away from these, not villains, but these police officers. Deku then gets to, a dead end in the alleyway. And they say, you have nowhere to run and you can't get away. Deku then, sees his escape as he, enacts it. As he runs back towards the, police officers, they then go to basically capture him and he jumps over, one of them, basically. And, he keeps running. But then, a police car pulls him to the alleyway. He, stops. Then a police officer gets out and tells him to freeze. Deku has nowhere to run, so he basically just get on his knees, puts his hand behind his, head, and they put him in handcuffs and put him inside the car. They then, took him down to the station, the police station, and put him in jail. Then, the same man that was supposed to basically be capturing Deku at night comes in and he sits Deku inside the interrogation room and they get to talking. The man says, so you must be Izuku? As Deku says, yeah, what do you want? You are, that we all know that you are the vigilante, right? As Deku says, now I do. What do you want? Alright, I'm gonna keep this, short and simple. You can't, be the vigilante. Being a vigilante is illegal, so you're going to be arrested. Deku says. So you're going to arrest me just because I was, protecting myself. As, the man says, there was not protecting yourself. You was physically going outside and finding people just to fight. As Deku says, I see no proof. Can you show me proof of that? And he says, no. Most of the time, no. But, we have one video evidence of you. As he pulls up, Deku says, there could be anybody. Stop lying. And, the person started thinking there could be anybody. Well, how about this? The woman basically gave, perfectly said, you had green hair and green eyes. Deku says, I know another person that has green hair and green eyes. As man that says, well, what about this kid that said you had green hair and green eyes and know exactly where you live at? And Deku says, oh, he must be someone I went to school with. He knows me because we went to the same school. This man just trying to find a way to get Deku admitted, but Deku is too smart for that. Deku says, look, you can let me go and catch the real person who actually did this. Then they say, what about this? We basically have the vigilante gear that you use. As Deku says, I don't know what you're talking about. As they show his mask, his hoodie, his pants and boots. Deku says, I still don't get it. Anybody can have those. They free to the public. They you can buy them anywhere if you want to, as they say. True, but why do you have this exact set? Deku says, exactly. You can get them from anywhere. I just happen to have them because I bought them. And I have the receipts for all of them if you go back in my house and look for them. As they see the receipts saying, it shows that, these specific clothes were bought after, after the vigilante was, recorded. So they can't be the same, clothes the vigilante had. They say, fine. All the evidence doesn't match up. So we're going to release you. As Deku says, thank you. As he, gets released, he walks away. Then, later on in the news, they said that, they thought they caught the vigilante, but they didn't. Just some random kid. Now, the reason, Deku's, clothes said a different date than what they actually were, because, Deku actually, he actually bought 2 pairs. Another pair just in case he actually got caught, and that's, smart. So Deku thinks that his house is actually hot, well, his apartment, so he moves out. Packs up his hero, his vigilante gear, and he moves. But the police saw him move. They see, Deku running through the night. They watching him from a helicopter, and that one hero is actually watching him too, saying, where are you going? Let's watch you for now. As Deku runs throughout the streets, and alleyways. Then he gets to a spot, and he goes inside. Puts all his clothes down, his food, his water, his drinks, everything down, and he, basically puts on this, vigilante gear. He goes outside, the hero says, so, it is true. It is you. As, he jumps down, he uses his scarf to capture this person. And he uses his eyes. And he says, Deku says, God dang it. So you were following me, huh? Special hero, Eraserhead. You're under arrest, kid. As Deku says, fine. I can't break out of these anyway. As Izawa arrests Deku, puts him in jail. Let's say, why is the same kid back here? Izawa says, he is the vigilante, I saw him. Deku can't deny it, so, they arrest him. And, it's put on the news that actually this kid, they don't know, actually don't put it on the news. They don't show his face. They just say that vigilante has been captured. And, that's it. And, this one is going to lead us off. Thanks for watching. This is part 1 of What If Deku Was Skilled, or What If Deku Was a Vigilante, whichever one I might call it. And, peace out.